I'm Tim Colte with Garrett Advancing Motion, and we're here at PRI 2024. We're really excited to launch our G Series 2 product line. So this is the update to our really popular G Series, and it's a new compressor wheel that's going to flow up to 10% more power per frame size. And we're going to have it in frames from 25, 30, 35, 40, and 42 will be the G Series 2 product line. And the really cool thing about this is that you can essentially take the CHRA and pop it into an existing Gen 1 application. So if you already had a kit, if you've already welded on different elbows for your compressor housing, or anodized it, or Cerakoted it in certain colors that fit for your car, and if you already have existing turbine housings, you get the G Series 2 CHRA and you pop it into that existing housing, and that's it. So it's a super easy upgrade for anyone that's looking to make 10% more power to an existing G Series setup. It's really simple. Let's say if you had a kit that was running the Garrett product already, and the fabricators had already bent all the pipes for a certain setup, and a new product can also come with new size constraints. So if you have a totally new design, it might be 1 millimeter off or 5 millimeters off, but this allows you to just use the center section, which would be the compressor side and the center section and turbine wheel, and take that, unbolt it from your existing kit, and just bolt it right back up so that it fits perfectly without having to modify, re-weld, or spend any additional money. It's a bolt-on type of a component that gives you more horsepower. So horsepower for the amount of dollar that you would be spending is the lowest amount for more power. So with G Series, our product naming and numbering is, the first number is our turbine frame size. So the smaller the number, the smaller the turbine wheel. The second number in those namings is the horsepower. So for example, the new G25 730 is a 25 turbine wheel with a 730 horsepower rating. Through the different frame sizes, they're going to have new numbers, but for G Series, it won't matter if it's Gen 1 or Gen 2 because the turbine housings will fit. Here at PRI, we've announced the G Series 2 product lineup. We're going to have products available in Q1 of 2025. It'll start with the G25 models, then it'll go up from there, the 30s, the 35s, the 40s, and the 42s. And we're planning to release all of that in Q1 of 2025. So when we look at the product roadmaps and product development for the G Series product line, we know that the G Series 1 had a completely new turbine wheel, very high efficiency, very high flowing, and the turbine wheel for G Series 1 is just really well designed. What that allows us to do with the G Series 2 is add that compressor, because we know there's more potential in that turbine wheel to continue flowing higher horsepower applications. This just needed a new compressor arrow and give enthusiasts more power in the same package. GX Race was launched a few months ago, and this was a product line that is developed just for hardcore drag racers. So high pressure ratio, extreme high flow wheels and setups. So what we have today and at PRI is the GXR 5588. So this is an 88 millimeter, 55 frame turbocharger, and this thing flows up to 2,350 horsepower. So that's 20% more than our G Series 55 turbo. So drag racing classes are often very specific compressor inducer sizes. Within the G Series product line, we didn't maximize what our offering was to this drag race class specific turbos. So GX Race fits that gap where we're making turbos that are fitting the rule sizes for certain inducers, like the 73 class, 68 mil turbos, the 55s for the big domestic drag racing classes. So what we're able to do is cram the biggest wheel possible within the specs, and that could be just millimeters bigger than our previous generation of offering, but it maximizes that turbo and it maximizes the horsepower capability for that certain application. So when you have a compressor wheel that flows this much horsepower, you need the turbine wheel that's going to match that flow. So the GX Race product line are for for drag racing cars that are pushing a lot of power and a lot of boost, and it's not so much for something that's a street application that's going to be running mid-map, and that's better for something like a G Series product line. This year we launched the G42 and 45 product line, so that's a 73 and a 68 millimeter inducer sizes, and we've worked with PRI Racing on their Supra and their different X front wheel drive Civics, and they've really put the turbos to the test. We're really excited to see what they do in 2025, as well as seeing what this the GX5588 is going to do out in some of these other classes like LDR and X275.